happy and we're singing and we're coloring. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? This is your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James, and it is another episode of Best of Enemies. We back, bro. How you been, man? How you been? It's been a minute. I
Oh, it's been a minute.
apologize.
That's all right. You gonna have to sing that song. I apologize. That's all right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you slide. You know what I'm saying? Life happens, and we understand that. We all grown. Life happens, and the good thing, no, the great thing about it being an independent person is you can take those breaks. You know, if you have things going on in your life, maybe mental things or just life in general, you can always sit back and take that break. If you got people who mess with you, they should be able to understand it because life does happen. What's up, everybody coming in the building? But I think that's the great thing we love about being independent is that we can step back from it and we can deal with our life and then we can come back to it. And it doesn't have to be some like managed thing from the people above. Oh, no, you can't be off this long. You got to make this happen. And I think that's one of the great things about it because it helps our mentals. It helps mine because I like being able to take a seat back because things happen in life and that's just the way it is. But it's good to see you back. I'm glad the Best of Enemies. I've been hitting you up. We've been talking back and forth on Twitter. Like, okay, dog, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Take that break. But you know we be banging in these streets.
Yeah, this was definitely, and a lot has been happening. A lot has been happening.
A lot has been happening.
It's been crazy. We talked a little bit off camera, about like just the off season dramatics. I think that's the best way of putting it. It's just been a crazy off season, but we have had some football now. Obviously the preseason games have started. You guys haven't played your preseason game yet, have you?
No, this will be our first preseason game tonight, against the
Okay, so
Jacksonville
we both play at the
Jaguars.
same time.
Mm-hmm.
So we both play. All right, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, we play tonight. The Eagles play tonight. You guys play tonight. Obviously training camp has been going on, so I kind of want to start there. All right, and I kind of want to. We've seen, the numbers with Dak Prescott. We've seen, the numbers
Oh
with
my
Jalen.
God, y'all seen it?
Yeah, obviously, right? We know everything he does at practice.
Oh my goodness.
But I want to ask you. I want to ask you this because it's a juxtaposition. I feel like Dak Prescott has been taking a lot of chances at camp. You guys obviously have a very good defense, and I think that he's trying to test himself against a good defense. And I think that the Eagles kind of play it safer when it
Drag
comes to
racing out
training
here.
camp and stuff.
Right.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott and how the Cowboys are doing their training camp right now? Does it I doubt it does, but does it concern you at all? If it doesn't, what are your thoughts so far?
All right. Like the great Allen Iverson said, and we've heard it a few times before, like the quote from the great Allen Iverson. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game.
Practice.
We talking about practice. You
Practice.
feel me? So I'm sorry. This happens like we've even heard. We seen Brock Purdy just have 4 interceptions. Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna throw interceptions in practice. It's okay. That's why you have practice to be able to get better. This is your times to make the mistakes, don't you think? You're in training camp. You're getting a new offensive, not really a new offensive system, but you have Schottenheimer, Howe, McCarthy's taking over the place. So yeah, there's going to be a different verbiage. It's going to be different personnel. So we got guys coming in, Brandon Cooks, you got new people. So those things happen. So you got to get acclimated. I have no problem because the many times they showed the 1 or 2 crazy interceptions, they don't show the lasers that he's hitting with CeeDee Lamb. They don't show the lasers that he's hit with Brandon Cooks. They don't show those lasers that he's tearing up the defense. They don't show that. They just always want to show the bad. And personally, I don't know what this obsession is this in this media field and this media world about Dak Prescott. I don't get it. If the man is so terrible, why do y'all talk about him so much? Because to me, if you suck, you ain't talking about somebody who ain't no good. That's just me. I'm never going to talk about anybody who ain't no good. Now, may some people rate him higher than lower? Yes, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, dog, it's practice. Nobody cares. If you're doing it in the games, okay. And one last thing. I'm just tired of this narrative like Dak Prescott's a turnover guy. We've seen the stats. It's proven in the numbers. He's one of the lowest turnover guys since he's been in the league. You get what I'm saying? So, okay, you had a interception year. You still went to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So we get it. This is a huge year. Obviously, we know what's coming up, and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, in most entertainment, right? And I guess you can call NFL. I know it's a sport, but it is an entertainment business. you're only as good as your last hit, right? As your last season, as whatever you want to say. So, you know, I understand he's not what he did last year. I don't believe that. I think that he is a good quarterback. And I said this on my Twitter, like at the end of the day, it's an unpopular opinion, but Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback, and it's going to be very good battles between him and Jalen Hurts. Now, at the same point, to talk about the training camp, because like I said, Jalen Hurts hasn't necessarily thrown the interceptions, right? But he has made mistakes. But I do get a little worried that we're not, because we've run the ball way more in this training camp than we did last year. And it worries me a little bit that we're not taking chances with him, that we're not, you know, making him push his envelope, so to speak, right? So it makes me a little bit worried there. But like you said, it is practice, and you know, you'll see what you see. But I think that this year, you said it, and I think that it's a big year for Dak Prescott. Last year, I came in here and I was talking about, you know, if you guys don't make the playoffs, you guys don't win a playoff game, Dak Prescott's probably going to be gone. This year, there could be a lot of changes if you guys aren't what you're supposed to be, you know. And I think with the Eagles, when I think of what we're supposed to be, I think that if we don't at least win a playoff game. I mean, depending on how the playoffs go, who we play, if we don't at least win a playoff game, I think that it's a failure. What is the floor for the Dallas Cowboys? And in order for Mike McCarthy to keep his job, maybe Dak gets an extension or something. What has to happen, in your opinion, for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, first of all, I don't think Mark McCarthy's going to go anywhere unless it's like a train wreck season. I don't think he's going anywhere, in my opinion. But let's be honest, I think it's a big season for both teams and both quarterbacks. You just had Jalen Hurts. I'll start with Jalen Hurts and I'll talk with Dak Prescott. First, I'll start with Jalen Hurts because, yes, he did go to the Super Bowl. Yes, he's was the number 3 player in the top 100. He's getting all the accolades right now. So to me, that's a lot of pressure. If you come back and Jalen Hurts doesn't have the year he had last year, and maybe, like you said, you guys don't do good in the playoffs, or maybe just one and done or something like that, it's going to be a lot of talk. Well, oh, that was fluky. Yeah, see, you had all this and that, and now look. So this is a big year to do it, because I feel like, in my opinion, if Jalen Hurts repeats what he did, not even necessarily go to Super Bowl, but have a deep Super Bowl, deep playoff run and plays like he did before, I think it more legitimizes him as a quarterback, in my opinion. I think it sways the people backing up and saying, okay, this guy ain't really a one-year wonder. He's not a one-hit guy. This guy is a real deal. And I think that's why this season is important for Jalen Hurts to be able to prove that to a lot of people, because now people want to see, you know what I'm saying? And now for Dak Prescott, yeah, this is a huge year for him, because I don't think, like I said, Mike McCarthy goes, but this team could drastically change if you don't get deep in the playoffs. I think, we always talk about championship game. Dallas hasn't been there. I know it. I get it. All you Philly fans want to talk about it all day. I don't run away from it. I understand it. So I think a championship game, in my opinion, because each year you've been taking a step. Your first year with Mike McCarthy, the full year where you're 12-5, you made it to the divisional round. You lost. We saw it with the Niners. You came back the next year. You beat the Bucs. It doesn't matter what their record was, in my opinion, is the fact that Tom Brady has still been beating you. They beat you early in the year. You had to overcome that. It was on the road, and you dominated them. So that was a step. You came against the Niners, and that game was 9-9 all the way into the fourth. Dallas made critical mistakes. You feel me? Toward the end, you still could have beat them. You had a good enough defense. So to me, it was still a step. Now you all in. You went out and got a Brandon Cooks. You went out and got a Stephen Gilmore. You drafted defensive tackle first time in 20 years. You surrounded your guys with you need to do. Now, I hear you guys talking about that offensive line of Zach Martin. Yes, I am concerned about it. I cannot front, especially we just had a guy go down for an injury with a hyperextended knee. So, yes, it is concerning. But if you look at it from the outside looking in, this will be the type of season everything goes right that you want to make that run. And if you don't, a lot of people will be critical. And I said personally on a video myself, if we don't take that step right here with this team and we're relatively healthy and things of that nature, then I have to look back and say, maybe it's not right. And that's just the way it is. I mean, in my opinion, just from me, I'm not speaking for other Cowboys fans out there. I'm from me. So it is a big year for the team and Dak because I feel like, what it takes to really take it there, but we got to put it on the field.
Do you think this is your best team in maybe decades? Like, where would you?
I'm not going to say, I think the offensive line is the question mark right now. I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest question mark. Even our run game, I think will be okay. I think we got talent back in there. I really love the Deuce Vaughn. Everybody's tripping on him being that size, but I think he's going to be a wonderful addition to the
He's
team.
gonna be good. Yeah.
A big guy. You know, we needed a guy like that, and I think he's really going to spark that offense, especially with a Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard really turns up this season. I think he has a really good year. So I feel good as long as we stay healthy. That offensive line really is my, Zach Martin gets back to camp, it starts meshing. Then I feel, because this defense, dog, I'm really confident in this defense, Joe. This is probably one of the best times I felt great about this defense. It's been building, and I feel like it's going to be ultra dominant. I feel like Micah Parsons is going to take that next step this year. I think he's going to be ridiculous. And I think that defense, we have the safeties, we have the corners, we have a heavy rotation on the defensive line. Linebacker, we're waiting to see, but we have talent back there. So yeah, I think this is one of our most talented teams since like 17, 14. Even then our defense is better. So yes, I think this is one of our most talented teams. We have CeeDee Lamb, who's going to go crazy this year. Brandon Cooks is going to be a great addition to him. You got our young guys, and Tolbert are stepping up, and then some under guys, under the radar guys, Jalen Brooks. So the tight ends, we got 4 of them. You feel me? We got it feels really good. But that offensive line gets together, and I feel real good about the team, Joe. And I like our coaches. I think they're on one mind. McCarthy and Dan Quinn want to be with each other. Brian Schottenheimer, he wants them there. And I feel like the one mind, the one accord helps the team, and let's see what happens.
One band, one sound, right?
One mind, one thought. You feel me?
No, yeah. I mean, look, I think that the Eagles, we would be foolish to sit here and act like it's not Eagles and Cowboys. Like,
it definitely is.
Obviously, a very good not good possible, but there's a possibility that the Giants and Washington make some noise. But I think everybody's looking at the Eagles and looking at the Cowboys and saying, all right, who's gonna take it, right? Who's gonna be that team? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 111 people.
Yeah, it's booming. They missed this, dog.
I miss them. I
I
see everybody saying what up. I'm good. I'm good. For everybody asking, I am good. I am great.
I missed all the hate that the Eagles fans give my Cowboys and myself. They just been throwing it on. I've been reading your comments in here. I just been laughing at them because y'all been just going ham. Y'all know deep down inside we good. Like I said, I'm gonna let Joe keep talking, but this obsession that y'all have with us is funny. Let's keep it real. I'm gonna have to jump out there and tell y'all have a serious obsession with these Cowboys. I never in my life have I seen content creators worrying about our training camp. Not all. No, I'm not saying all y'all, but there's a few now, Joe.
On both sides.
Yeah, there is. I've been seeing comments. Okay, now just lately, I've been seeing comments, and I'm like, that ain't gonna be me. I'm gonna just chill. You feel me? Because I ain't doing that. But y'all have an obsession, dog. Because our camp started first, and y'all have the obsession of watching our camp retweeting. There's no way in hell, in my opinion, Joe, I'm retweeting Eagles camp on my Twitter. I'm not. I'm not retweeting nothing Eagles on my Twitter ever in life. I will never ever do that. I'm not doing that, and not multiple things. I don't care. I might make comments under your thing, but I ain't retweeting y'all stuff on my stuff, and y'all have that obsession, not us. So that just lets me know Dallas is still pretty good in these streets.
Yeah, I will say one thing in defense of a lot of people. The Eagles like hold their training camp down with a lock and key. Like they do not let nobody see anything. It's kind of frustrating. Like I get it to a certain extent, but the people that are there, the reporters that are there, not to talk junk about anybody, I'm friends with some of them, but they don't really do anything. They don't really they'll type stuff up. They'll, tweet a bunch of stuff, but they don't really show you anything. So I think Eagles fans are just bored. Eagles fans are kind of just looking for something. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is a little weird. I will admit that, especially because I think it was like the Eagles Nation Twitter, like, bro, like just talk about the Eagles. Don't do this. You're making us look bad. Like we don't want to see this. But speaking of that, someone on Twitter actually asked me this, and I wanted to bring it up to you. Obviously, it happened for both sides. So there was a Cowboys fan that went to the open practice for the Eagles, and obviously LaShawn McCoy and what's his name?
Ocho.
Emmanuel Ocho. So that both former Eagles. Ocho played for like 20 minutes for us, but either way, he was a former Eagle. They went to the practice for like an hour. I don't think they actually saw it. But anyways, someone wanted to know, do you think it's weird to go to an opposing team's practice or training camp? Do you think that that's like weird behavior, especially when it's a rival?
It depends. Like, I feel like if you're kind of in media, and you're doing the media thing, I think if you're that invested in it, you may want to look at things maybe from the team.
Yeah.
If you're by there, I think that's different. But if you're just a fan, yes, I think that's weird. I think if you're just a fan and you're going to an opposing other places spot just to watch them, yeah, I think that's weird to me. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to a Redskins camp. I'm not going to a Giants camp. I'm not going to an Eagle. I'm not going to none of y'all's camps for what? Why would I do that? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We have to worry about our team, not yours. That would tell me I'm so worried about your team that I'm going there. But like I said, if it's a media thing and, we're trying to do those type of things and, get scouting reports and things of that nature, what we see from the opponent, I think that's different. And I think that's a little bit more acceptable. But to me, if you're just going as a fan, just from my perspective, not from anybody else's, I'm not going to somebody else's camp and doing that. I'm going to stay at my own camp and enjoy the fruits and labors of that camp and learn from it. That's it.
Yeah, I can I personally I would love to go to a Cowboys training camp if I'm being honest, but I ain't got the money to go buy a
I
ticket
know you
to
would. I know
California.
you
I would
love
love
us.
it.
I
I
know
think
you
it would be
would.
dope.
I know you would love
I
it.
would go decked out in Eagles gear. And I know a lot
Mhm.
of y'all. That's why I think it would be cool. Like, I'll be able to see a lot of the content creators. Obviously, we've built relationships. So it's like I think it would be fun. I think it would be funny. Last time I went to Dallas, I ducked Tuck. I ain't gonna lie, because we lost the game. I was out. I hopped on a flight the next day. I didn't even go sit here and cap. I was like, man, fuck Dallas. I don't want to be here. Excuse my language. I was like, I don't want to be here. But no, I think it would be cool for, like you said, from a media aspect, because it would be, especially doing like a best of enemies out there. I think doing it from the Eagles and from the Cowboys, I think that would be really cool for both of us. But yeah, as a fan, it's like, why are you there? Just to incite a riot, just to get people
Yeah,
mad.
yeah,
Just
you
to
just inciting a riot. And I feel like the
yeah,
way this stuff is getting now with social media, it's a lot more crazier in these streets now. Because without social media, I mean, it was still crazy. But I think the social media thing has really honed in. So I think you're taking chances now when you're trying to do that kind of stuff, because people like putting people on social media now. People like seeing fights and things like that. You feel what I'm saying, dog?
yeah.
So you better be careful in these streets nowadays, because that social media done changed a lot of things. So nah, I'm cool on all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. I ain't trying to fight. It's funny, like I get, road rage and stuff like that. My girl will be like, "Man, you better calm down. You don't know who got
Yo,
what out here.
hey,
We live
it's
in
different in
Florida."
these. It's different in these streets now.
Exactly, bro. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Shout out to my guy Martin, man. First super chat back, man. I appreciate it. He said LaShawn is 007. He's getting on the top 2 to 5.
Well, he
That's what
couldn't
it
get no
is.
fouls because he left too early, so he
He
couldn't
did
get
leave
too many.
really early.
People been ripping him because he was talking about how good Tony Pollard looked, and Tony Pollard wasn't at practice.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
you
He
messed up.
pandered.
Yeah, you messed up, dog. He went there. Like I said, I feel like, I told my guys on the final word that, we're a lightning rod. We get y'all follows. We get y'all likes. So guess what? LaShawn McCoy and Ocho going to Cowboys camp and did what they wanted to do. Because guess what? Everybody was talking about them. Everybody probably followed them. Everybody probably watched the show. And they got exactly what they wanted. They're in the media. They're
Yeah.
getting reviews and clicks. It's all about the reviews and clicks, dog. And we should all know that by now. And whatever can get that better, that's what they're going to talk about. And guess what? No matter what anybody says, nobody wants to talk about these other guys. I guess Jared Goff, why don't y'all worry about with him? He's coming off a career year. He had a career year. Nobody talks about Jared Goff. Why don't you talk about the quarterback situation from the Atlanta Falcons? You can't, because it's boring to everybody. Everybody wants to talk about them Cowboys, Dak Prescott, whatever it is. It's an obsession, and that's the way it's always going to be. That's the way it's always going to be, y'all. I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. Even when Dallas sucks, still talk about them.
It's true.
We don't.
I mean, we and my girl were looking up like the top
Wrong.
franchises. Yeah, we can't lie. It is what it is. You guys are the NFL right now. Like
We're the
you guys,
NFL. I mean,
you
we're the
guys have
richest. We're the
been,
number one.
yeah, you guys have been the biggest franchise. So yeah, you guys drive the money, but you guys don't drive the championships. We do. You know what I'm saying? It
You
is
don't
what it
drive
is. But
championships because you
we
only
now
got
we are.
one. You
Now we
got
are. Now,
no, you're not. You're
Jalen
driving one.
Hurts.
Stuck on one.
Tell me if I'm bugging out with this statement. Maybe I know you're gonna tell me I am, but shout out to my
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
Rome, man. That's my dog.
My
Um,
dog, wrong.
I think that Jalen Hurts has the opportunity to become the Michael Jordan of the NFL. I think that he can become the reason that a lot of teams, especially in the NFC, don't win championships. And it might not be just solely because of him, but I think that the way that this team is built and the way that he's been, consistently getting better, I think that once he wins one, I think it's going to be very hard for other teams to beat him. I do. I think that he'll become the Michael Jordan of the NFC at the very least. Am I crazy for saying that?
Michael Jordan, dog? Now I don't know about no Michael Jordan, but I'm gonna just say this, okay? People think I hated Jalen Hurts. I don't hate Jalen Hurts. No. We'll go back, rewind our shows when we first started this, dog. Rewind our first shows. We were talking about Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott were going to have epic battles. We were excited to see that because we knew both.
Before me.
I liked exactly. Yeah. They don't understand that. Tell them, Joe. Like Joe was still on the fence, and I was like, "I'm telling you, dog." I said that the way Dak came in, like killing it. I said Jalen's going to come in and doing the thing. He's a good quarterback. He's got to work on things. Obviously, he's got to get better, with his passing and things of that nature. But, dog, if he comes in, like I said, and he comes in like he did last year, has better numbers, and y'all go far in the playoffs and maybe get to a championship or a Super Bowl again, I'm going to just keep it real, dog. Like, people going to talk like, okay, yo, this ain't a one-year wonder. You're going to have to really have your teams together because he could go on a dominant run. And I think right now this is the battle between Cowboys and Eagles, Dak, Jalen. I'm praying that both of them are healthy because I feel like this is going to settle a lot of things in this East we've been talking about for a long time. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? This is going to squash some things because we haven't got to really seen it between Jalen and Dak. And when we did see it, It was exciting, right? When we did see that Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott game, that was an exciting game. I'm ready to see more of that. And I feel like between them two, this is going to determine who is the hierarchy of the quarterback now, NFC East going forward. And these next couple games that we play this year are feeling like are going to determine a lot of things in that topic.
Yeah, I think this is, like you said, I can't wait for these games. We went through 2 different games where we both had excuses, right? But neither of us had our quarterbacks when we lost, so it was annoying. But yeah, no, this is going to be huge, and I stand on that just because I see everybody getting mad about it. I do, and Rome brought up a good point that Patrick Mahomes is the Jordan of the NFL right now. But that's why I kind of walked it back and said NFC because AFC, yeah, nobody's really getting past Patrick Mahomes. You got to really do your thing to get past Patrick Mahomes, and I really do think that Jalen Hurts is going to end up like that if he continues to get better and if the Eagles can continue to surround him with talent. We've drafted really well. We've obviously picked up some really good free agents. Our offensive line, we have people who are ready and waiting in the wings to replace the guys we have. So I don't see a major fall off. It could happen, don't get me wrong, but I don't see it happening. Now I do want to talk about the rookies. I brought it up. Both of us drafted decently. I think that both of our drafts we were happy with. There's been mixed reviews about your boy Mozzie. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard much about
I haven't heard no mixed reviews from nobody.
I hear the hating side. So
okay, I was about to say, thank you. Because I ain't heard no mixed reviews from nobody else out there in these streets, NFL or not. I've not heard any of that shit hating over there. And I'll just say this one time before you finish, Joe.
Go ahead.
Everybody, I just keep hearing everybody saying how Dak sucks, this and that. Well, all I got to say is how come he stay beating y'all? And now we'll go back to Joe. Just answer that.
I know 8-3.
It's the facts. If he's so sorry, he wouldn't beat y'all. He wouldn't beat y'all consistently. That's what he does, dog. I love how y'all hate 8 years of nothing. He's been to the playoffs 4 times. We had Jason Garrett, y'all. Do y'all understand that? Please, y'all know y'all don't, because that's just y'all hating body. But please, Joe, tell him.
We had Doug Peterson.
Okay, yeah, you had Doug Peterson. What happened?
We won a Super Bowl.
And then where's he at now?
He with Jacksonville. He doing good with Jacksonville.
Yeah, you're right. He's a damn good coach. Yeah, I was surprised that y'all did that. But guess what? Like I said, Dak stays beating y'all. If he suck, how come he's got this winning record? His numbers are astronomical against y'all. He owns y'all. Now let's get back to our rookies. And Mozzie is looking damn good. Stop hating.
His get off looked a little slow. I only saw one clip, and
one clip. Thank you. You saw one clip.
To be 100%.
So you're gonna base anything off one clip, Joe?
I'm not. That's why I'm asking.
Okay,
That's why I'm asking. I gotta make sure. Don't. But I mean, I saw that. heard
And
mixed
we've
reviews.
also seen him walking back offensive linemen all the way back into the quarterback. We've seen that multiple times. We've seen him. He's going to be playing today. We just got word that he is going to be playing today along with Luke Shoemaker, who has some injury issues, our tight end that was second-round draft pick. But they're going to have him in the game, I believe, to see how he can hold up on the double teams, how he can hold up in that run game, because that's one of the reasons why we got him. Plus, they're going to get that pass rushing ability from him and see if you can play him as a, one gapper, two gapper. They're going to see how he plays in multiple sets. So I don't want to hear anything about Mozzie being weak. That's 6'3", 325 pounds of strength coming at you. So you guys are going to see. Calm down over there, because we ain't talking about your guys.
Y'all know y'all scared of it.
We're not scared of y'all.
Our rookie class might be ridiculous this year. I mean,
It could be, but we're not worried about
Carter, Nolan Smith, they looking good at camp. Kaylee Ringo apparently is looking pretty good at camp. I mean,
It's at camp though. You feel me? Now we get to see. We say camp. You feel me? And everything looks good in camp. I've seen world beaters in camp, Joe. I've seen first-round draft picks, second-round, third-round draft picks look good in camp. As soon as they get them lights on, they ain't do nothing. So it is still practice. Let's see how they look in these preseason games. So there's only 3. So these preseason games are important. So let's see how the Nolan Smiths, let's see how the Jalen Carters look in those games, and then base it from there. I'm not saying they ain't talented. They got a world of talent, dog. Well, you be lying and saying they didn't. They got a world of talent. But so do we. If you look at our draft picks, if you look at our defense, if you look at our team, dog, we're just as talented. We're coming in with just as much flame and fire, and that's why it's going to be great to see us battling these 2 games this season. And I pray for help for everybody, so there ain't no, oh, but this guy was hurt. I want everybody healthy, so I don't want to hear no excuses. So when Dallas come in there and whoop that monkey Taz and beat y'all and bust in Jalen and Hurst's head and he ain't doing nothing, I want to hear y'all excuses.
Sadiqa's your sister, right?
Yeah, well, that's my assistant in spirit.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure, so I don't yell or anything.
Yeah, that's my sis. Easy.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude, but I don't say anything different. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty honest. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think that, look, you're right. We have to see what happens in the game. On paper, we do have a lot of good talent, and I'm excited to see what happens. I think that Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith are obviously going to be the people that everybody talks about. But you look at Sidney Brown, you look at, like I said, Kaylee Ringo. These are guys that can definitely make big impacts for us. And, to respond to Rome asked about DeAndre Swift. I haven't heard that he's been struggling. They've been really just kind of handing out the handoffs amongst all of them. Like all 4 or 5 of our guys are getting first team reps. So it's been kind of all over the place. So he's been getting a lot of catches, not necessarily as much as, the touches as he wants, but I don't know. It's hard to really say.
But I want to ask you something, Joe, right quick, because it was talking to town. What about your boy though? What's your linebacker's name from last year? What about your boy, dog? Nakobe Dean, because I was hearing a whole lot of noise about Nakobe Dean being the next Micah Parsons. While y'all talking about our guys, Mozzie Smith, we need to talk about Nakobe Dean, because he was supposed to be. Oh, you see, we just got Nakobe Dean. What round? What is Nakobe Dean doing that y'all had to run out and go get 2? Not one linebacker, get 2 linebackers out there. What's going on with that? Please talk to me about that, Eagles Nation.
I don't think that it's as much on Nakobe Dean as it is that we just don't have any other linebackers. I mean, outside of Nakobe Dean, we got Christian Ellis, we got Nicholas Morrow. Like these guys, I mean, Christian Ellis has been doing good at camp, but he's never really started. So I don't know, what they really expect from him. And Nakobe Dean got hurt. So he had I think an ankle injury. Yeah, he got an ankle injury. We'll see what happens. I mean, again, they keep it very close to the chest. I haven't heard anything great about Nakobe Dean, but I haven't heard anything terrible.
Here come the excuses from your fan base.
The last thing that I heard.
Excuses. I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. I'm so sorry.
The last thing I heard from Nick Sirianni is that, he did say that he was hurt, but he also said that he was doing well in coverage. He was doing good, that he didn't have any, complaints about him. I think it's more so that you don't have any veterans in that linebacking room at all. And that was something that the whole offseason I was kind of talking about. And 2, you might not have any starters outside of Nakobe Dean. Maybe Christian Ellis, like I said, but I don't really, I don't know if that's going to happen. So on paper it looks weird. It definitely does, especially with Miles Jack saying he was about to go be an electrician or a plumber or whatever it was. So, on paper it's like, all right, maybe it looks a little desperate, but I
It
do
does look
like the
desperate.
moves. It does look a little desperate, but I like the moves. I think that if you in camp saw, okay, this spot is not looking good, let's invest in it. I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm fat, you know what I'm saying? Let me go work out. That's good. That's very, very good. So I think that if the Eagles saw weakness there, think that these two guys, because Zach Cunningham and Miles Jack, they bring something totally different. Like Miles Jack is a very athletic guy, not necessarily, the past couple of years has been kind of poor in pass coverage. You can kind of look at that and say maybe the injuries, because he has been dealing with a lot of injuries. Cunningham is a tackling machine, kind of reminds me of TJ Edwards a little bit. Not saying, and TJ Edwards isn't, I don't think, a world beater, but he did very good for the Eagles. So these are guys that might fit, you know what I mean? And we really don't need, I know, I'm surprised he hasn't said it already, but I know Rome's been screaming that we called Nakobe Dean Ray Lewis, but we
Y'all
don't need
said a
him to
whole
be Ray
bunch
Lewis.
about Mr. Nakobe. I see all the people in here. Oh, he's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud. Well, let's hope so, because I ain't heard nothing about no Nakobe Dean. I ain't heard nothing about but him being hurt. That's all I heard about Nakobe Dean. So while y'all all in here talking about he going to be a stud, he going to be this, he going to be that, all I've been seeing him been hurt. Now, if it was a flip on the other side and our guy wasn't performing, that's the first thing you've been saying about our guy, especially if he fell to the third round. Y'all was talking all this trash. So guess what? I'm going to say something about Nakobe Dean, and until I see it, I don't believe it. He's hurt guy to me. I don't hear nothing about no Nakobe Dean except that he's hurt guy. He was hurt last year, and he's hurt again this year. So let's see what he's going to do, and I feel like it was desperation. Yeah, y'all didn't have no depth, so y'all went out there. Y'all didn't have no linebacking core. Me and you talked about, remember when we talked about the positions, and we went through position, didn't I tell you our position of linebacker was better than yours? And I felt like I said your linebacker position was lacking. So that's why they went out there and get. But Zach Cunningham and Miles Jack, they ain't been world beaters as of late. So you're getting rusty older guys. You feel me? So we'll see. But yeah, your boy better step up, because I'm tired of hearing him being so great, and he has done nothing but be hurt.
And just to clarify, Eagles fans did not call him Ray Lewis, nor did the writer. Like the writer was Ray Didinger. He's a Hall of Fame writer, and he even said in there, he was like, "I'm not comparing him to Ray Lewis. I'm just saying the way he works, the way he approaches the game reminds him of Ray Lewis when he used to cover him." So, kind of like the Dream Team thing. I think that's getting a little bit, a little bit overplayed. But we talk about old and rusty, and who just brought that up? John Secunda. Shout out to John Secunda. He said, "What do you call Gilmore and Cooks?" If we're talking about
old and rusty,
guys,
are we really saying Cooks is old and rusty when he just came off a 1,000-yard season the year before with bum quarterbacks?
But he's like 31, right?
No,
31?
he's not. He's 29 years old, just turning 30.
Wow.
And yeah, he's not old. He's just been in the league a long time, but he's been doing 1,000-yard seasons, 6 of them. Have you seen his speed?
Yeah.
If he's old and rusty, have you watched? I know you Eagles fans have watched training camp, so don't act like you don't. You know all about a training camp. And let's tell you, Cooks has that speed still. He's still legit 4.3. He's still cooking out there. Gilmore's a little bit older, yes. But what about Darius Old Man Slay? If we're talking about old,
Gilmore was not a top 5 corner last year.
No, he wasn't, but he was still a top corner. He maybe not been a top 5, but we still have Trevin Diggs, who we just re-signed to a top deal. So we already invested in our top guy. But let's not sit there and say Gilmore. Go back and look at the numbers. Gilmore play had not fallen off at all. He came over to the Colts, had a good season, and he's a seasoned veteran, just like Darius Old Man Slay. And y'all like Old Man Slay, right?
He was a top 5 cornerback last year, though.
Okay, but Gilmore was still a top corner. He may not have been a top 5, but he was still a top corner. And we still got 2 top 2s. You feel me? We still got 2 guys that are formidable. And like I told you about Deron Bland, wait till you see him. Y'all ain't got no guy like Deron Bland like we do. You get what I'm saying? And we telling you about that. And we got the best safety core in the NFL right now. So on the back end and the secondary core, ours is better than yours.
I think the Eagles have an opportunity to have probably the best secondary in the league. I think that
we do.
I mean, you have an opportunity too, but I think that you look at
Mattis is not better than Deron Bland. Our guy had 5 interceptions as a rookie last year. Deron Bland is better than your guy.
Our safeties aren't proven. I will say that our safeties aren't proven, but I do think that we have a lot of talent there. And then you look at the three starting cornerbacks, including the slot, Avonte Maddox, right? You look at Darius Slay, James Bradbury. If the safeties, if Sidney Brown can be as good as a lot of people think he is, and if Reed Blankenship can take a step forward from last year, like we all think he will, I think that we can
If
have a
was a
very good
fifth,
argument. Say again.
if was a fifth.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what we're working with, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys are on a lot of ifs too. I mean, if Mike
On with what?
McCarthy gets it right, then then you can be
Okay, yeah,
good.
we talking about the talent in that secondary. There ain't no ifs with that. Donovan Wilson was one of the top safeties in the league last year. We saw what J-Ron Curse did. Malik Hooker was one of the better free safeties in the league. You got all three back. We got Marquise Bell that's back there, who is very legit. Israel Mukamu, dog, Deron Bland, Trevin Diggs, dog. Our secondary is nice, and I think we have one of the better secondaries already right now. Right now.
As a whole, I would still take my secondary over.
Oh, as a whole, I'm taking mine over yours.
I would still take mine. I mean, I just
I'm
think
taking mine. Watch it. Wait. Oh no! Wait for this kid named Eric Scott coming out of Southern Mississippi. He's going to come in and he's going to show you 6'1", 200 pounds. Wait till you see. I'm taking our guys over your guys all day.
That's not true, Rome be acting like he watching that. So you watch our training camp. This dude telling me what Sidney Brown started with the threes. He's been taking reps with the ones. He's been taking reps with the twos.
AJ Brown didn't kill the Dallas Cowboys. No, he didn't.
AJ Brown going to kill y'all this year.
No, he's not.
Did good against y'all.
Yeah, Devontae Smith did. I'll give him. I told you, Devontae Smith is up and coming. I don't hate on him, and plus he's a slim guy. I don't hate on no slim guys out there in these streets. Tank Dell, you know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith, I love y'all because you giving love to the slim guys out there. So keep doing your thing. So I don't hate on Devontae Smith. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I don't hate on Devontae. He's an up and comer. He is a dog. I can't deny and say he's not.
Shout out to Spike 23. He said, "Joe, you're talking small today. This is embarrassing." I don't even know what that means. But I don't.
No, he's just talking logical. We don't do the rah-rah stuff. We hear. Even though I might hate to say it. I will give props if it's really going down with your team. I'm not gonna give any fallacies to you or pump y'all up. But if it's real, what's real is real, and that's the way Joe is, and that's why I think we love that. No, AJ Brown didn't kill us. Calm down.
I got somebody pull up his stats. If y'all got time, somebody go on your phone, pull up his stats.
Pull up his stats.
Cowboys, and we'll see. Because I don't think AJ did crazy like that.
No, it was Devontae Smith. I think that was turning up. That first game, I think he had it was decent, but he didn't go crazy. I think he had a couple of touchdowns. They were short ones. And that we seen the routes. If you go back and watch the game, they were like 5 yard, and they were running that daggone run, whatever y'all was running that daggone read option thing that y'all be doing, because they kept it close to the vest when Jalen Hurts played us in that first time. And don't make me go there, Joe, because they wasn't airing it out with him. And if you watch that first game with Jalen Hurts that he played against our defense in Philly, he was having off-target passes. We had that pass rush that was all over him. Yeah, we didn't sack him all the time, but go watch all them passes he was throwing out of bounds, getting flushed out of the block. When?
The first game, wasn't it like 27 or something like that?
It was 26 points, and it was all in the first half. His numbers were pedestrian. Only had 155 passing yards. Y'all kept it close to the vest. Y'all ran the ball. He ran it like at least, I think, 10 times in that game. Y'all kept it close to the vest. Y'all ran. Y'all did not throw. So shh.
But I mean, we were up like 3 touchdowns at one point. I mean,
the game was but okay. But y'all still, even when he was trying to throw in that game, he was not connecting. He was off. He was like 15 to 26 for like 155.
I can't wait till next year. I hope Jalen Hurts has like 200 yards rushing on y'all. Just so y'all get mad. That
ain't gonna happen because Parsons gonna be all over him. You know what I'm saying? And we won the second one, Cal. And Dak ate y'all up, killed y'all, threw all over y'all, killed y'all. Y'all say about the quarterback, but guess what Dak did to y'all? Vonna defense last year. Y'all had a pretty good defense, right? Last year, Philly. That defense, y'all had a good defense, and Dak cooked it again. So I guess the choking Dak cooked y'all again. Once again, cooked y'all.
I mean, we 40?
Dropped 40 on that defense? One injury. You had one major injury.
On that defense?
On the secondary. What was the dude's name?
We were missing a safety, missing a cornerback.
You were missing a safety. Both Bradbury and Slade played, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think Maddox was gone.
Please.
That's pretty important.
All we had was CeeDee Lamb, old T.Y. Hilton, and Michael Gallup, and Noah Brown.
So shout out to everybody.
And you see what did Lamb do to that defense? Why y'all talking about? No, what did CeeDee Lamb do y'all defense?
Oh yeah, he
Since
did,
y'all
he did
talking about AJ Brown, what did he
he
do to
did his
y'all
thing.
defense, Eagles fans?
That's
He had
all you
like 9
had.
catches.
That's the only person you had. Of course,
But he had 9 catches, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns against your defense. Eagles, talk me about that. He gonna dominate y'all again.
He's not gonna dominate anyone.
He's gonna dominate
He
y'all.
ain't gonna dominate.
CeeDee Lamb.
This
CeeDee Lamb.
year, I feel like the Eagles.
CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all, dog. CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all. CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all.
Sweeping the Cowboys. We gonna beat you.
Y'all
by
not gonna
combined,
sweep
like
us.
30 points.
CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all. He gonna own y'all. Please put Darius Slay on him. Don't put Bradbury on him because he gonna cook Bradbury. He gonna cook him all the way up.
If he gets out of the
do that.
slot. I mean, Bradbury don't cover the slot, so I mean,
he
slot boy got to get out of the slot.
Okay, but the year before he was dominant on the outside and still had dominant numbers. He
Well, he
plays
gonna have
good
to get
in the
out
slot on the outside. Y'all can't guard him. Put Bradbury on him, he gonna get cooked. Put Slay on him, and then Cooks is gonna cook Bradbury.
He ain't getting cooked.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are gonna sweep y'all. Shout out
Y'all
to
ain't sweeping us.
in the chat. That we have 214 people
Ooh,
in the chat.
we banging.
Man.
We love y'all. Y'all missed us. We love y'all too. Ooh,
Hit
CeeDee
that like.
Lamb gonna own y'all. If y'all been watching Camp, did y'all see that catch he caught him? Oh my God, he gonna be doing Dez like he gonna eat y'all up. CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all, dog. CeeDee Lamb gonna kill y'all.
One of the most overrated quarterback.
Oh wow, you talking crazy? 105 for 1,300, and your main quarterback was out 5 games, and you still did them numbers. Please. And he owned y'all, and he been killing y'all. CeeDee kill y'all every time, bro.
Shout out to Mark C with the $5 super chat. He said, "Who cares about the Cowboys? Who cares what Cowboys do in the regular season? They are trash whenever it counts." I mean,
hey, I hear you, but you know what? You still sitting on one, y'all. And like I told your guy Brunson, if he always keep going back to them, that was back in the 80s, that was back in VHSs. Well, how come y'all ain't caught up?
That's easy. But when we do, I'm telling you, when we beat y'all, it's gonna be a wrap.
When we beat y'all, what y'all gonna do? I can't, and you ain't gonna live when we beat y'all, dog.
I know I won't. I fully accept that.
You better be ready for it. You better be ready. You Eagles fans better be ready for it too. You feel me? And I don't care here about this Jalen nothing. I don't care. You're still sitting on one. You went there, you lost. It don't matter. You went there. That's great. But you lost. You're still sitting on one. And if ours are so old, how come y'all can't catch up?
We're gonna catch up.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Y'all ain't getting no 4. Y'all ain't catching up and getting no 4 Super Bowls and catching up and getting 5 Super Bowls. No, you're not. It took y'all 80 years to get one. It took y'all 80 years to get one.
Now it's open. Now the door is open. So now we just gonna run through now.
How? You didn't run through last year. You did great, but you didn't win. You got to finish, don't you?
True. I think in Jalen's career he'll get 2 or 3 for us.
We'll see about that.
That's what I'll say. Shout out to Ross and Found. That's a cool name. $2 super chat. He said only Jalen's 3rd year starting, hasn't hit his prime. That's effing go. I was about to curse. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think that Jalen Hurts. We both have said it. There's definitely room for him to improve. And every time I said that, I felt like people, because everybody was calling me a Jalen Hurts hater, why do you hate on your own quarterback? But I've said that a lot. I've said that he has room to improve. So it's crazy to see what he's been able to do, even with that, it's space to get better. So if he does get better, it could be very scary. If he becomes that pocket passer that everybody, from other teams, it seems like wants him to become, how do you really stop him? I don't know what you're going to really do to stop him, because he could beat you with the legs. He can beat you with the arm. Now,
I don't count the 20s, dog. I don't count the 20s. I don't count when they didn't have face masks. I don't count, you know what I'm saying, Super Bowl. We doing Super Bowls. I don't count the 20s. Wasn't none of us around. You feel me? Let's go with Super Bowls. Yeah, we got more NFC championships, dog. We got more Super Bowls, more NFC championships. We got a better record against y'all overall. So stop the madness over there, Eagles. We own y'all in every category. You hate it. We own y'all in championships, victories against, Super Bowls, playoff appearances. We are better, y'all, in every aspect. Period.
Not the last 20 years.
Okay, but you only got 1 chip.
We about to have 2 after
we about to, but I hear we about to, but it ain't happened. I keep on always hearing we about to. Oh, well, wait till we win. Or wait till this. Or wait till. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Y'all sound goofy. I won't call y'all stupid because I don't want to set y'all and search y'all's intelligent over there because I want to be respectful. You know, hey, 2000s, but what have y'all won? How many years y'all went to the NFC Championship and choked? Y'all never want to talk about that. I got to talk to him, Joe, right
At
quick.
least we choke in the NFC Championship though. Y'all
It
choked in
doesn't.
the first round.
It doesn't matter. NFC first round championship. It don't matter. You're still choking. You went to 4 straight and you choked. How is that not epic choking?
That was annoying.
How is that not
That
epic
was
choking when you go to 4 straight NFC championships and you choke? Y'all never talk about that. It's like y'all sweep that under the rug. See, y'all Eagles fans keep that under the rug. Y'all never talk about that. All y'all want to talk about is your one Super Bowl in 2017 and how y'all went. Y'all never talk about in them 2000s how y'all was choking all them years. Choke. Then your coach left y'all, went over to KC and actually won Super Bowls. He couldn't win Super Bowls with y'all because y'all choke artists. He goes over to Kansas City and wins Super Bowls.
It was him. It was him.
How is he choking? He going over here and getting Super Bowls over here?
Because you got Patrick Mahomes.
You still got to coach.
Mahomes.
You still got to do. You still got to win. Don't matter what kind of car. Is Aaron Rodgers a dope ass quarterback and he ain't won championships?
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, it's mentality because like Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's a great player, but he's not a great teammate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
I get that.
Mahomes is just different. That man, you know what I'm saying? He's just different.
Y'all really just big time choke artists too, though. If y'all go through history, y'all choke plenty too. So stop acting like y'all haven't, Joe.
Y'all choke too, though. I mean, yeah,
I admit that. Yeah, but stop acting.
Choke.
Y'all sweep it under the rug. Y'all choking this. Y'all sweep it under the rug. Y'all act like it don't exist. Like y'all ain't never choked. You feel me? Thank you. McNabb was a choker. Big time choker.
McNabb annoyed
big time choker.
I wouldn't say he was a big time choker.
He was.
He played big in some big games.
No, he did not.
There was definitely times where he choked. I like the Super Bowl. He choked.
Throwing up. Your own dude says you're throwing up. You choked.
That one, that's why we don't talk about it because you see how I'm just getting aggravated right now. Like we can talk about it all day.
Somebody said, "Did Romo win a Super Bowl?" You don't even make no sense. You said, "Did Romo win a Super Bowl?" Did Donovan McNabb win a Super Bowl?
He should have. Donovan McNabb should.
He should have, but he didn't because he choked.
He didn't. Nah, I mean, the Cowboys. Yes, you can blame it on your coach. You can blame it on your coach, but y'all have had a good decade straight of just going 8-8. It felt like y'all just
Jason Garrett.
Jason, the Mr. Clapp, that was bad.
10 years, bro. Of that, we admit it. That's why we wanted him out of here. He's never coaching in the NFL again. That's the front office making that stupid mistake, and I'll admit that with you guys. That was a stupid hire. That was a dumb hire. They should have never hired Jason Garrett to be our coach. That was absolutely stupid, and they still went to playoff games with his bummy, sorry, terrible coaching self. It's like terrible. Terrible.
I don't know how we had winning seasons every year with him. Like that man, he just hated us. I really feel like that man just hated us. But one thing that the Eagles have, and I always say this to everybody because I always get that, you only got one conversation. The Lombardi Trophy is what it's called, right? Obviously, after Coach Lombardi, the Eagles are the only team in NFL history to beat a Coach Lombardi team, Lombardi. Let me start again. Vince Lombardi coached team in the playoffs. The Eagles are the only team to ever do that. We beat them in 1960, right before it became a Super Bowl. So we beat the guy that it's supposed to be named after, and we won the NFL championship that year. So I'm happy about that. I know everybody's going to be in the comments like, what the heck is this guy talking about? You talk about 1960. I don't care. It's real to me, damn it. I don't care. I'm going to take that. But tonight we got football, man. We finally got football back. So for the last 10 minutes, I just want to go over kind of the preseason game. Mm-hmm. Who are you looking at? What are you looking at? Is there any certain players? I know it's preseason, but right now is a good time to kind of see the younger guys, and guys that maybe don't get a bunch of snaps in the regular season. Is there anybody that you're excited to watch or keeping an extra eye on?
Oh my God! We got a lot of young guys that I'm excited to see. First, let's start with the running backs. Obviously, we want to see who's going to take over that second number 2 role behind Tony Pollard. So I'm interested to see, does Rico Dowdell, who I think is the dark horse on the team, he has what you want, 6 foot, 215 pounds. He has the speed. He's been there 4 years, but he just had a lot of injuries. But I feel like he's the guy. I've been screaming about him on the low, and I just want to see what he can do. Him, Malik Davis, Hunter Lukey, but the guy I'm excited about is Deuce Vaughn. How are they going to use him? Use him in the run game because he can be a running back. Throw him in the short screen game, return game. I really am excited to see Deuce Vaughn right there in the running backs. If we're going to our receivers, Obviously, we want to see who's going to be this sixth guy. We know what we have in our first five. Kevontae Turpin is a guy who they throwing in on the receiving end, and I want to see how he looks in the offense because we didn't get to see it last year. So I'm excited to see what Turpin looks like outside of kick returning and punt returning, those type of things. Jalen Brooks has come out of nowhere, our 7th-round draft pick from South Carolina, 6'1", 205 pounds. He's strong hands, catches in traffic, thickly built. You like he's a guy that you can really see could be a possession type receiver for you, but can do some things. He's going to be battling with Simi Fehoko, a whole host of other guys. Jalen Tolbert, who's our 3rd-round pick from last year. We want to see what he looks like because he really didn't get any kind of burn last year. So pretty much that receiving core. Obviously, I want to see what Luke Shoemaker's our 2nd-round draft pick, who's a tight end out of Michigan. He's been injured most of the training camp, but he got in the last week of the training camp. We want to see what he can do. Can he, get away from defenses? Is he going to be just a guy that's sitting on the earlier routes? Can he block? Those type of things. We still want to see what Hendershot, Jake Ferguson. So we got a lot of young guys that's going to be looking. And then obviously, Joe, our offensive line. Yes, I admit we need Zach Martin in, but I don't think this is going to be a situation where he holds all the way out. I feel like they'll come to grips and figure it out. I hope they do, but we want to see what this offensive line looks like, dog. We just had Chumango, something like that. Chewy, I'll call him Chewy. He's out with a hyperextension, so we need to see what the Josh Balls, the Matt Farinock, the Matt Waletzkos, these Asim Richards, those guys. We TJ Bass. We got to see what this depth looks like, and we got to see what some guys may look like in a starting position. So we definitely want to see what that offensive line. If I jump to the defensive side, I want to see what Eric Scott Jr., our cornerback they drafted out of Mississippi. I think they traded back in to get him. He's looked really good in camp as well. It's going to be a fight between him, Nashawn Wright, Kelvin Joseph. Those were both 2nd and 4th-round picks, respectively, in 2021. We need to see, are they going to step up? Are they going to take the next step? So we're watching them. And then, obviously, I want to see what DeMarvion Overshown, our draft pick, 3rd-round pick out of Texas, linebacker, a linebacker safety. He's the hybrid guy, a lot of energy, had a lot of, creates a lot of havoc in there. So we want to see. And then obviously our whole pretty much linebacker unit, Jabril Cox, Damone Clark, Malik Jefferson, Devin Harper, all those guys we want to see, are they going to take the next step on that linebacking core because it's young? And then I want to look at our defensive line, Mozzie Smith, obviously. Can he hold that middle down? You want to see what he can do right there. Sam Williams, does he get some burn? We want to see how they really kind of rotate that defensive line. So those are the guys I'm really looking at. They're talking about the kicking game, but I'm not going to be concerned about that because I feel like you can find that. But those are just my quick thoughts on the Dallas side of it.
Yeah. Now, as far as Eagles, I mean, look, offensively, everybody wants to see what's going to go on with these running backs. I think that's like kind of the first thing we're looking at because we don't know what's going to happen. There's been talk from, Nick Sirianni and the organization that they have plans to utilize every single running back as a starter. They're going to use all of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of works out. Wide receiver, I think, is going to be a very, obviously we know AJ Brown's that number 1, Devontae Smith's that number 2. It feels like my guy Quez Watkins has kind of solidified himself as that number 3. There's a lot of talk about Nagata. There's a lot of talk about Ozzy. I forget I can't say his whole name, but Ozzy from the Falcons. So there's talk about those two kind of fighting for wide receiver number 4. Obviously, if we hold 5, if we hold 6, it'll be interesting to see who takes those spots because we do got some good talent. Offensive line wise, the only real position that I'm looking at is going to be the guard position, the left guard position. I believe or right guard, I want to say. I believe we're going into it with Cam Jurgens, who we drafted last year to be our center, but it seems like he's taken over that guard position. So I want to see how that works out. I want to see how he looks. I think that is going to be awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for that. But the defensive side, I think, is where you're really going to be looking, man. Like Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter is the obvious one, but Nolan Smith, they've been lining him up at off-ball linebacker. They've put him on the line. They've done a lot of things with him. So I'm excited to see how they utilize him. We talked about it a little bit, right? The linebackers. Nakobe Dean, I don't know how full he's ready to go. I don't know if he's going to be a full go, if he's only going to see a series or something like that. But I do want to see what happens with him. I want to see Christian Ellis in a game setting. He's every time. So the first camp that we had before the camps, the OTAs, the first one that was open to the media, he had like 2 interceptions. The first training camp, he had like an interception. So he's been making big plays in these, and obviously it's practice. So I want to see if that translates over. And a position I don't think a lot of people are talking about is the cornerback room. Like, obviously, we got our top 3 guys, but guys like Josh Joby, who me and you liked coming into last year's draft, he's been making some noise. Zach McPherson, a guy that we drafted last year that were kind of like, what's going on? He's been making a little bit of noise in camp. So I want to see what Kaylee Ringo, another guy. I want to see what happens with these guys in game situations, and then safety. And honestly, my biggest thing is probably going to be special teams. I need to know who's going to be our punter, who's going to be our kick returners, our punt returner, because last year that was probably our weakest position, our weakest facet of the game, right? That 1/3 of the game, I think, was just horrible, and it could have helped us a lot. You look in the Super Bowl alone, Kadarius Toney brings back that huge punt return, and stuff like that just can't happen, So Mekhi Gardner, I forgot about him. There's so many good secondary players that we have. It's gonna be very interesting to see how it all shakes up. So I'm excited. I think that this offseason has been kind of crazy, as far as like the trash talking back and forth has gone.
Oh my God.
But I'm excited. This is probably the best that both of our teams have been at the same time since like the mid 2000s, like maybe like 2000. I'm trying to think like when it was, like probably when you had Romo and we had McNabb. This is probably the best we've been. So I'm excited. I think that this is going to be a huge year for both of us. But yeah,
I agree. I like this. I like it. I ain't mad that y'all good. We're good. You guys are good. So I feel like I just pray that we're both healthy. You feel me, dog? Like it wasn't last year when we missed our quarterbacks on both games. I just pray we're both relatively healthy when we play, and they're going to be very good games. Like these games, I don't care what anybody says, in my opinion, are going to be the most watched games of the year. When the Cowboys play the Eagles, especially if our records are, very good, these are going to be the most watched games. Everybody's going to tune in, no matter what anybody says, to watch those Cowboys Eagles, because I feel like these will be classic battles this year. No matter what, Eagles fans can talk all day trash all they want to, whatever. But y'all know we good, and if you didn't think we were good, you wouldn't be talking the trash like you do right now. So it's going to be a much anticipated game, much anticipated matchups, and like I said, I can't wait to see. I'm tired of this noise between Dak and Jalen. Y'all both need to be healthy because I need this. We need to shut the noise down once and for all this year. Shut the noise down. Who's taking it?
Facts. Yeah, and I said this earlier. Dak is a great player, but once we beat him, I don't want to hear nothing about no 8-3. I don't want to hear none of that. We once Jalen Hurts does his thing, which I know he will this year, I don't want to hear none of that. Once
Dak beats you again with Jalen Hurts, what I'm gonna say, frauds. You will be frauds.
Lose to y'all. I'd rather get swept by y'all every year and win in the playoffs. But I know, it is what it. That's a.
Don't let us sweep you, dog. But, don't let us sweep you with Jalen Hurts.
I would cry. I would be.
You better cry, because I'm gonna be so relentless. I'm gonna be so relentless. I mean, it's gonna be relentless. You probably won't have Best of Enemies podcast that day.
I'm gonna go on another break.
You're gonna have to go on a break, because I'm gonna be relentless, which I know it's gonna come my way too. So I think we're both behind the closed doors, Joe, praying. Come on, dog, please don't let Jalen. Come on, let's get it real, Joe. Let's get it real, Joe. Don't let them, please. I don't want to hear this, because when we do this show, oh my God, I'm gonna hate doing this show.
It's gonna be fun though, because especially when we do the live ones with the
my God. When we do the games. No, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be fun.
We got a lot of people in the chat. Hey, shout out first of all, I just want to give y'all Cowboys, Eagles. We appreciate y'all, man. I know we do a talking trash back and forth. I hope none of y'all get personal with it, because that's weirdo action, in my opinion. When you get personal with it and you don't know the person and you get real personal, you're just a weirdo, in my opinion. You're just weird. But if we just talking trash and have a good time with it, that should be cool. But we appreciate everybody that was in the chat. The chat's been booming this whole time. Shows that you really appreciate our show, what we bring to the table as content creators. We try to bring y'all the best energy, information, good back and forth. And I think you're showing it today by, being in the chat. So I appreciate both sides. I appreciate the Eagles fans, and I appreciate us. our fans because it's good trash talking. For the most part, our trash talking and our things is pretty clean, and that's why I like our fans and our people that we do this. So I do want to give y'all definitely appreciation, Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, because y'all definitely support our show like no other, and I just want to get that out there, and I do really thank y'all.
Yeah, and that's why we're able to get, guests on here. Like, I'm sure we'll get Kyle on here again. I'll talk to Fran, get him on here. That's why we're able to get guys on here, because they see the community that we have. They see that it's a respectful but a competitive community, which is fun. That's when it's fun. When you can talk junk to somebody, like you said, and not get personal, not, walk out and feel like you got disrespected as a person. Like, that's not what we're here for. We're here to just talk that junk, have fun, and we'll say what it is. But I do want to say, I want to first to all the community. I don't like saying fans, but all the people that appreciate our content, man. I really do appreciate everybody that's reached out to me over this last month. That's asked me where I was, asked if everything was okay. That means a lot to me, man. For real, like, just knowing that you guys look at us as more than just a show means a lot to us. The fact that you guys were here means a lot to me personally, and I know it means a lot to James as well. And shout out, you got a super chat, my dog. So if you want to read that.
Is it crazy?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. A pixelated hippo chomp.
Oh, hey, shout out to you for the $2 holla. Hey, ho. I don't know what that means, but hey, shout out to the $2 holla. I definitely appreciate it.
It is what it is, man. But no, we love you guys. We appreciate you. And real talk, James, I know I said this off of air, man, but I appreciate you like no other, bro. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, this dude is my brother off the air. Like, we joke around, talk junk, but I had a really, really rough month, man. And James was there for me. James, kept saying, bro, don't worry about it. We'll be back when we'll be back. So I really do appreciate you, James. I appreciate you just being you, bro. Like, that means a lot to me, but we're not going to get all, emotional. You got anything else you want to say to these beautiful people before we do get out of here?
No, just once again, always continue to support. I hear all the trash talking. It's all good. I don't take it personal. I don't be tripping on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just be thinking it's funny when y'all run y'all mouth. So I don't trip. But like I said, I do appreciate the Eagles fans. I do appreciate everybody who really supports the best of enemies. This is what, our second year, right? In doing this, right?
Second year. Yeah.
Second year. Our first year I thought was a very successful year. And it was because of you guys. I mean, let's keep it real. Like, we started this. I remember when we both had the idea. You came with the idea. We both talked about it, and it started off very small as far as when we started out, and look how it's grown, man. So I just really appreciate you guys having really been staying on our team, really going hard for us, really doing your thing, making us great. And so I think this season's going to be even better because our teams are even better, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of anticipation. You guys just came off the Super Bowl. We're looking to get there. We're looking to break the chains, and these matchups are going to be crazy. So just continue to support us, man. Continue to let us know, how much you appreciate us, and let's continue to be great out there in these streets. Best of Enemies podcast, I think, is the number one Eagles Cowboys out there, in my opinion.
Easily. Are you going live for the game tonight?
I'm debating because my girl, the kids, I got to see how that dynamic is going on. I got a high school interview that I'm trying to get as well. So I'm going to see. It's probably like 50-50 right now. But if I am live, jump in there, because you'll see, just turn on your notifications, things of that nature, so you can definitely see it. If not, I'm definitely going to do a post game, talk about the game. But just definitely see it, and just keep the support going for the Best of Enemies podcast. Like I said, I think it's one of the best ones out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we still got 250 people in here. I won't be live, but tomorrow I will be live, and we'll be talking about the preseason game. So I'm very excited. My birthday is Monday, so you know what I'm saying? Say what up to me Monday. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is, man. I am Joe. That is James. We are the best enemies. Peace.
Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and